What's happening, good peoples? Welcome back. It is Friday morning. Time is 8:03 p.m. March 28, 2025, and I'm back for another edition of Bajillion. I think this is 133. 133. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for yourselves. Who in the hell? I'm sorry. I'm looking at my box of books over there in the corner, and I can tell that somebody went into my box. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Y'all hold tight. All right. I'm back. I gotta, everything has to be dress in my office here. Even though it's not, but everything that I think, as I say that, I look around, I see so many things, all mixed up and not dress. Anyways, that's a military term meaning everything has to be in order. Anyways, this is 133. Let me see, 133. Yeah, 133. I think. Let me hold on, y'all. Don't make me lie to you now. We're gonna put some music on anyways. Let me see. Yesterday was 132. So today this is 133. We're gonna put on some music, courtesy of my oldest son. I call this Bajillion track. We'll put that on, let that ride, and we will get back to the story. All right, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit, I think. Just a tad. A little bit more. All right. There we go. We all buckled in. Let me pour some water in the cup. I just drank a cup of coffee. Y'all get your breathing right. Inhale. Exhale. And keep that going. Laughing momentarily, loud enough and with enough fake enthusiasm to seem not bothered by her drunken father, Lily sprung from her seat. It was her dad out there for everyone to judge. She hadn't seen him in years. It was the only dignified thing to do. She joined him, and together her and her father started what could have been the most embarrassing display of dancing. Embarrassing had they been the only two to be so bold. Coincidentally, or perhaps by the grace of God, Luther Vandross began how many times I passed that without saying it? Began singing about dancing with his father again. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Let's see. About dancing with his father. I like these beats, man. This is where I'm at right now. If you send me another one, I'll add that one to this one. Man, this is where I'm at. I like these beats. Laughing momentarily, loud enough and with enough fake enthusiasm to seem not bothered by her drunken father, Lily sprung from her seat. It was her dad out there for everyone to judge. She hadn't seen him in years. It was the only dignified thing to do. She joined him. Let me see. I kind of jumped the gun right here, so we're going to cut that. She joined him, and together, her and her father started what could have been the most embarrassing display of dancing. Embarrassing had they been the only two to be so bold. Coincidentally, or perhaps by the grace of God. Okay. We're gonna paste it right here because we don't wanna waste a good line. Laughing momentarily, loud enough and with enough fake enthusiasm to seem not bothered by her drunken father, Lily sprung from her seat. It was her dad out there for everyone to judge. She hadn't seen him in years. She joined him, and together her and her father started what could have been the most embarrassing display of dancing. embarrassing had they been the only two to be so bold. It was the only dignified thing to do. Coincidentally, or perhaps by the grace of God, Luther Vandross began singing about dancing with his father. Henry Wallace, maybe feeling the good vibes, or maybe not wanting to get outshined by his drunk friend, did something he'd never done. He approached his daughter, Sonia, something he'd never done. He approached his daughter, Sonia, and with the hand out, speaking gentlemanlike, he asked if he could have a dance. As if he could have a dance. "Oh God, I'm gonna throw up," Jacob said. "Boy, you need to be taking notes," Mrs. Wallace said to her son. "Your father used to be a real player back in the day." "You mean back before the internet?" Seated next to Jacob, Freddie exploded with laughter. I just had a vision of hearing these beats in somebody's car over my voice, like some stranger, listening to me stumble over these words, or maybe in the future, flow flawlessly over these words. But for right now, I'm stumbling because this is the process that I'm having. But I just had a vision of that, windows down, maybe a hot summer day, hearing these beats, and I'm like, oh, there's only one thing that he or she could be listening to. And yeah, so that's a good thing. That's a good vision I just had. Let me take me a sip of water. This is world building, by the way. That's what I call this, world building. "You mean back before the internet?" Seated next to Jacob, Freddie exploded with laughter. "You can say what you want, but if it wasn't for him sweeping me off my feet, the other guy on the dance floor could have been your daddy." Jacob took a look at Frederick Sr. as he was struggling to keep in step with the beat and his dance partner. "You're joking, right?" the boy asked his mother. "No, she's serious," said Suge with a smile. I don't know what that is, but maybe that's the subtle tension between the two, Henry and maybe that's just a little bit of the tension, because it's also the fact that Henry and Suge are more like father and son than Frederick Sr. and Suge, which Frederick Sr. is Suge's biological son. So. But in real life, it can be like that. In real life, your dad can be your dad, but you have a guy down the street who's more of a dad. You know what I mean? That's real life. Or some young kid that you are mentoring at work is more of a son than your actual son. You know what I mean? Or daughter, whatever. Things happen that way. The night went well for Suge. Having his birthday party at the Wallaces was a tradition. His mother, Miss Martha Louise, had started 5 years ago. Had started 5 years prior. These beats are nice, man. I'm really loving them. Before falling ill, after the sudden death of her husband, Irvin, and a year later, she fell into a deep depression. No one could bring her out. No one could bring her out of it. She had lost weight and stopped being her normal chipper self. The only thing that seemed to work was the medication that the many doctors prescribed. Those pills were now necessary for everyday normal functionality. In the beginning, it seemed as though Miss Martha Louise was making an amazing recovery. She began to talk again, eat. She even found strength to dance every now and then, a pastime in her younger years that she could not go without doing at the sound of music. The alligator woman is what they called her. It was a dance move where she'd shimmy all the way down. She'd shimmy all the way down on beat to the floor. It was a dance move where she'd shimmy all the way down to the floor rhythmically. It was a dance move where she'd shimmy all the way down on beat to the floor. With her knees folded and her butt seated on her legs, she'd shimmy down more. She'd say wiggle. This is an actual dance move, by the way, that my mom, Miss Louise, would do. I'm trying to describe what she was doing back in the day when she was younger. She would do this dance move. They actually called her the alligator woman. I don't know why the alligator woman, but yeah, that's the alligator woman. That's what she would do. And my dad, he had some dance moves too. But anyways, there used to be some dancers back in the day. That's why until this day I'm a dancer, even though I don't dance at all these days, unless it's just me by myself. I think that people don't dance in general these days enough. People dance, but I was just looking at a video yesterday of a high school graduation. It was predominantly white people. I was very, very impressed. It was predominantly white people. I saw maybe 2 or 3 black people in the whole video. It was Ninth Wonder, the producer out of North Carolina. It was his Instagram. It was a video he put on his Instagram page. And they were dancing to 1992 hip hop. So it was Crisscross, it was Opie, it was Naughty by Nature. I think I heard the Brat. No, maybe not the Brat, but it was 92 hip hop, and it was a high school prom. That's what it was, prom. And they were dancing. I was thinking to myself, so there was a period in time where white people could actually dance. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, these people were dancing. And then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, everybody in those days in the 90s, 92, yes, babies came out the womb, dancing. Old grandparents were dancing. And the further back you go, the more people were dancing. I was reading the autobiography of Malcolm X told to Alex Haley, and he was describing Lindy hopping, and I kept hearing Lindy hopping. It was an audio book I was listening to, and so after I read the book, maybe somewhere in between listening to the book, I went on YouTube and I researched. I wanted to see some videos of Lindy hopping. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, let me show you guys real quick what Lindy hopping is. Hold on. All right, so y'all hold tight. This is Lindy hopping. I'm gonna show you about maybe 30 seconds of it. First of all, look at the energy. You can almost feel the energy coming off of these people's faces and body language. So much energy back in those days. This is Whitey's Lindy Hoppers. Hell's a Poppin'. turn it up a little bit.
Man, don't stop now, we jumping. Keep everything Lord. This thing might turn into something. I ain't mistaken, here comes something now.
This is Lindy hopping, y'all. This is back in the 50s, I think, maybe 60s. No. This is what Malcolm X was doing back in the day. Malcolm Little, Detroit Red. This is the dancing that they did back in the day. You see. I don't see young kids doing these type days. Now, obviously, this is choreographed. I think maybe it's not, but this is what they were doing in the clubs. You know how much energy you gotta have to be flipping people over your backs. And now it's not just the women getting flipped either. Sometimes the men. Sometimes the women flip the men. And Malcolm X was talking about throwing a woman up in the air, and he said by the time she came back down, he had already did 2 dance moves. See right here? She just put him in the air. This is Lindy hopping. We don't do this these days, y'all. This is what we do. This is Lindy hopping the kids are doing right now. This is what the kids are doing as far as Lindy hopping doing. They're probably watching a video. It ain't even a Lindy hopping video. They're not even doing that. They are just on their phones. Kids don't even sweat these days, y'all. Look at this. Everybody's getting flipped and tossed and pulled and jerked around and hopping, skipping, feet never stop moving. Look at this. The man jump over her, she jump over the guy. I mean, wow, I was gonna play a couple seconds, but that was the whole 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 39 seconds. I just played that because, anyways, let me get back to the story. Y'all hold tight. Let me see something before I go there, though. Let me see something here. I want to see anyways, I feel like you must have health care and homeowners insurance before you try the Lindy hop. Facts. You got to have energy, too. You got to have energy, y'all. Let's get back to the story, though. Y'all hold tight. All right. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways. The alligator woman is what they called her. It was a dance move where she'd shimmy all the way down on beat. I'm a little bit hungry. On beat to the floor. Oh, should I say without skipping the beat? Without skipping the beat. Let's just say on beat, man. Let's say all that. With her knees folded and her butt seated on her legs, she'd wiggle down more until her back touched the ground, then come back up. Some think it was the medicine that caused her to take a turn for the worst. Excuse me for a second. What once gave her enough vigor to function now made her lethargic, too sleepy and worn out to function during the day. Okay. Alright, so we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, y'all. But I got to remember to come back. I got to remember to pick up the pace. Like, I want to slap the reader in the face with a surprise, you know what I mean? And I'll do that. I'm not worried about it. This is going to be green. We'll make all of this green. What once gave her enough vigor to function now made her lethargic, too sleepy and worn out to function during the day. Suge would oftentimes awaken to find his sister. Wait a minute, is it sister or his mom, man? Come on, which one is it? Let's say mom. I said mom before, so it has to be his mother. Yeah, and I know that Suge is 88, so that would probably make his mom 108, right? But if you hadn't noticed already, this story is one of those stories. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird stories. Or maybe if he's 88, maybe she's 100. Okay, let's do the math on that. 12, right? Yeah, 12 years older than him. We'll see what happens. But he's 88, and there's other things going on too. Suge would oftentimes awaken to find his mother wandering aimlessly throughout the house at night. One prescription had to be countered by another prescription, or by another. The new prescription had to be countered by Soon Suge found himself going back and forth trying to keep up with the latest cure for what was thought to be severe depression. Though he was there at the party having a moderate good time, his thoughts were on her and now a troubled son who'd come back in town for the worst of reasons. There was also his daughter-in-law, a woman who never saw her life turning out the way it did. Left with 2 children, she could not have seen the spinning meteor of verbal and sometimes physical abuse coming from a man she still adored with the NASA telescope. She still adored. I don't get that. What no one knew that night is that things were about to take a turn for the very worst. No one but you. No one but the spirit thing. No one but the spirit thing. The one now there at the picnic table, invisible to the naked eye, but so present and patient. So present and patiently sitting by Jacob's side. Yes, Jacob. Its partner in crime, the boy it had to protect. Jacob, the boy who possessed not possessed. The boy who possessed the uncanny ability to transcend time and space. And though the focus wasn't always on the boy, I don't know, man. I'm trying to make it through, y'all. Wasn't always on the boy. It was always on the imp. I don't know. I like the word imp, apparently my wife tells me. Oh, okay. The dark thing. Frederick, whispered Jacob. Being there by his side, you get the feeling the boy is up to no good. You can feel a certain kind of energy emitting. Oh, wow. So that chapter ended. Let's see how many pages we got there. Not many. Oh, well. So chapter 1, I'm at page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. Alright. Frederick, whispered Jacob. Being there by his side, you get the feeling the boy is up to no good. You can feel a certain kind of energy emitting from him. Kind of like you're about to do something that goes against the norm of your normal compass, moral compass. Those vibes are coming from him. Around that same time, you see it again, the dark, shadowy thing that followed the boy home from the pond. What? Come on, man. I got myself in a quagmire, y'all. I gotta get out of this, but I'll get out. It's there, moving like a snake, creepily coiling its way up Jacob's neck. No one else seems to see it. If you were in an actual body, your breathing would be that of an Olympic sprinter coming in second, desperately trying to catch the person ahead of you. What to do, watching as this thing goes up further and further, finally making its way into the boy's left ear hole, then funneling its way in like dirty water spinning down a drain. Let's go to your place, Jacob said. In his hand was an empty backpack. Why? Frederick asked. I'll tell you when we get there. And stop talking so loud. But I'm hungry, Frederick argues. The food ain't going nowhere, Jacob insisted. As the music from the garage began to fade inconspicuously, the two boys headed further out into the front yard where the crickets and cicadas were serenading the stars. The insects seemed to be playing the soundtrack for whatever Jacob was getting himself into. What are we doing? Frederick whispered. Frederick. Let's see, Freddie, you can talk normal now, said Jacob. Okay, why are we going to my place? The boy asked. I'll tell you when we get there. Coming up on a house that had been in the family for over so many mistakes, y'all. For over 50 years, a single light was on in one of the bedrooms. Jacob looked to Frederick for an exclamation. It's my grandma Louise. She's probably watching the game. When she's watching any kind of sports on TV, she thinks she's there on the floor with LeBron. Crazy. Okay, that's not a problem. We just need to get in the garage where Suge keeps his stash, Jacob said. Alright, so I think this whole entire scene is gonna have to get it's gonna have to get moved. Stash, you mean Shine. His Shine, Frederick asked. Because the drink, what they're about to do is they're gonna spike the lemonade, but that's already spiked. Yeah, I heard him and your dad talking earlier. He's going to take a couple of gallons back to New Jersey with him. Said they love the stuff up there. I don't get it, said Frederick. What are we going to do with it? We are going to sip a little and put a little in the punch bowl. The boy followed with an evil giggle. What? Asked Frederick. Why? Just because, Jacob replied. Maybe this should be Frederick's idea, not Jacob's. Yeah, so we're gonna have to just because, replied Jacob. Just because what? Just because I say so, said Jacob. Just because you say so. Okay, I know this is probably hard to even listen to me go over this. It's hard for me to read it again, believe me. Frederick, all right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to stop it right here. But I'm going to have to move all of this. All of it. Yeah. Yeah, the dark thing. I'm going to have to move all of this. So right now we're going to stop it. And I'm not worried about it, so please don't worry about it. It's been 32 minutes. This has been Bajillion 132. Till next time, y'all be blessed. Hit that like, leave a message, share, comment. And thank you again for stopping by. Bajillion 132. Till next time, I'm out.